And good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really appreciate that. Like 20 years ago, it would have been the end of popcorn day at my elementary school. You feel me? Which would have brought me real great joy. It did 20 years ago, it still does now. Cheese popcorn is, in fact, the best popcorn. Don't let anyone fool you. But we're not here to talk about popcorn tonight as much as I'd like to give it a little more time. I mean, the holidays are coming up and it's kind of old school, but I like getting those gifts with all the different kinds of popcorn in them. Low key, between the two of us, it's kind of like my thing. I kind of secretly also like fruitcake, so whatever, as Tupac said. Yeah, you already know what I'm gonna say. But I really do hope that you guys are doing good. And if anyone wants to send me any gifts, you feel me? Let's get a sponsorship for Walker's Popcorn. Where's Warren Buffett when you need him? He owns that particular uh, industry, pretty much. But anyways, is Warren Buffett gonna live forever? I mean, I'm pro Buffett, whatever. The guy's a cool guy. But nonetheless, tonight I want to talk about movies. So check it out. I'm joining you from the other side of my desk, and obviously I'm standing up. Although you probably couldn't quite tell that because I'm only 5'4.5". So if you ever saw me in real life, it'd probably be real hard because I'm very tiny, and I'm not a real big muscly man. I'm just kind of like this thin little guy trying to make his way through a world full of big people. Anyways, I think that film has been a really big part of my life, not just recently, but since as far as I can remember, I've really been captivated by storytelling, and I really enjoy fictionalized stories. I enjoy nonfiction. I enjoy memoirs, biographicals, science fiction, contemporary literature. I like reading, and I also like movies. And so I'm looking forward now to a point in my life where I can start to make movies. I sell a lot of them on eBay, and I write a lot, and I want to publish novels, but I think ultimately it would be kind of cool to be a filmmaker. And just knowing that we live in an age where overhead is virtually non existent as it concerns amateur filmographers and videographers and stuff. I mean, it's kind of like a new world. And while there's a lot of hesitation ongoing with sort of like the AI stuff and all the strikes and things with the writers and the actors. I feel like moreover we should probably try to just embrace technology and its place within the medium of media. And there's places for it. There's places that it makes sense to use AI. It's just very practical. It's super cheap. And if the whole goal of the end game in capitalism is to save money and to be effective and efficient, which is one of the byproducts when capitalism is done correctly, then inherently that's going to cause some conflict between people who've had an entire career on an old school model. But like, I wouldn't be confused if I were young people out there, or I guess even older people, in just that the game has changed and guys like me are using cracked cameras to broadcast themselves from their room on YouTube, like old school. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And this platform has been essential in launching so many different careers throughout so many different parts of media that it's almost countless. I mean, truly, the impact that the different kinds of media has had has been tremendous throughout the entire industry. And I'm very interested in capitalizing on that as it concerns being an amateur creative person. I think that I still have the good majority of my working life ahead of me, and I have a lot of energy. And so I feel like I almost have just kind of tried to ride the wave out as so far as it concerned my 20s and my early 30s. There was a lot of uncertainty, and there still is. And I guess now that I'm a little bit older, I'm finding different ways to be relevant, you know, because that's kind of what it is always about. It's always about being relevant, and not like in the public or whatever, but like being relevant to yourself. You feel me? Like finding a way to get it done, regardless of all of the many, many things and obstacles that are placed before all of us, which is why I'm also a social capitalist. I have some larger ideas in store for our collective future, but in the meantime, it's really important that, you know, we get to know each other and that I have your support there at home. And those are things that I work on every single day of my life. And film makes me think from a perspective that is always challenging authority, including my own. It's really important to just not troll everything in life, but troll everything in life. I mean, you want to ask questions, you want to ask for clarity, you want to be as articulate as possible. And I find like all of these messages can be conveyed through filmmaking and just human artistic expression, and that is separate from any type of generative AI or chat GPT, anything at all like that. That is simply a supplement to an already inherent ability to create things from nothing, which is quite a remarkable sort of thing that we can do as human beings. And I feel like making movies and just doing media is a way to help motivate yourself to stay focused regardless of just being consistent. And we've talked about this before. I just talked about it last night. Consistency in filmmaking is also why we still see J.J. Abrams movies and M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, a lot of these guys are getting older, but they still release bangers, and they've done this over throughout the course of their career because they've maintained their relevancy and they've been able to adapt and they've been creative in their filmmaking, and they've gone from making high budget blockbuster films to very very condensed versions of what otherwise would be a super inflated budget. And there's never been a better time to be a part of this industry, to break into this industry in any kind of a way that you can think of. Entertainment is like food, death, and taxes. It's something that will always be around. And more importantly, it's different from those other things because it inherently lasts longer. Artistic expression is something that is debatable and conversed over through decades. And it's interesting to see how times have changed from the different kinds of movies that were made to the kinds of movies that are currently being made. I think it's black and white in terms of the contrast. It's now a way more equitable industry for everybody. And this is, I think, what we always kind of wanted in a nutshell. It's not everything that we wanted, but the ability to just freely express yourself in an artistic kind of a way is something that I feel like a lot of people overlook. And that's unfortunate because, as it may be, you know, the running meme when I was going to college was not to go to school for a philosophy degree or an art degree, you know, but as the future progresses, those actually might be the subcategories of employment that will be in demand as we see other parts of occupations being completely replaced by generative AI and just machine learning and actual robots. There is always a space for creative and artistic expression, always. And I feel like moving into the future, that place will hold steadfast and become a very lucrative and profitable area that machines just simply can't compete with because they are different than us. And while I respect sentient AI out there, I'm just understanding also that we are categorically different. And it doesn't matter really at all in that sense when you think about it. It just means that there will be different outcomes for the same problems because they're solved by two different kinds of ways of thinking. And it's important to humans for us to have a say in how we feel about our environment through expressing ourselves via vlogs from people sitting in their room or standing up in this case, or amateur video making that lots of YouTubers do for full-time career and have for a number of years. People like myself aspire to become like them, in fact. So I hope that you guys have a really, really good night. I really want to thank you guys for watching and being a part of my life and just following me through as I navigate this really tough but almost over year. I really can't wait till this year is over. And I say that because I want to start a new year where the year before it wasn't a complete disaster, and I'm almost there. So I will continue to persevere and stay focused and positive. And in the meantime, I will always hold on very dearly to the things that I really care about. And they may not be the things that most people care about, and not to say anything about anyone else, but like, I care about artistic expression and free will and being a social capitalist and learning how to restructure the dynamics of a nuclear family and the importance of fixing problems. I got different things going on, but moreover, I also like love cooking, and I really enjoy film, and I enjoy everything about film, being in front of the camera, being behind the camera. So I don't know, I just feel like the future is going to be pretty bright, and I wouldn't expect anything less from myself, honestly, because I've spent most of my life avoiding any sort of possible and potential successful outcomes because I was not really ready for that. And it's taken me almost 37 years, but wouldn't you know, something finally clicked. May have been the broken ankle, may have been falling out of the tree, may have been the terrible ex girlfriend, or it may have been very positive things in my life. Like, really understanding that there are a few people in my life that care about me. And I don't need a bunch of people to care about me, you feel me? But like, if I got two, three people, like even just one, which in some cases that's all that I've had in my corner and that's all that I've needed, in the form of like my roommate being able to step up and really, really actually, take care of a situation that otherwise would have made other people just absolutely collapse, because he and I have had to deal with a lot of loss. And so I'd say it's only time for us to actually do something that can benefit this household. And so I hope that you guys have a really good night, and I'll see you just in a few minutes. Bye.